Well, here we are, everybody. We are actually today starting off with 134340 Pluto live. Yes, I wanted to go back and actually listen to this particular song because I don't think I've actually heard it since I first listened to it for the first time. So I wanted to come back here and kind of give a re-listen. I do have the other two songs are actually completely unknown to me, but for some reason this one was just calling out. So we're going to start off with this one. And yeah, if you don't know me, if you're new here, my name is Aaron, and I try to help you love the music that you already like. Let's check this out.
Hey, let's go. Hey, oh, whoa. 이름은 영코너 나도 넌 별이었는데 넌 빛이라서 좋겠다 나 그런 널 바라보는데 무너진 완성에 남은 영웅은 이미 야있어 죽을 때까지 바꾸증이 무더운 시선 아직 난 널 돌고 변한 건 없지만 사랑의 이름이었다고 어떻게 별거 하나 정말로 애쓰리 찾아낸 걸까 말은 내가 저 달보다 못하고 뭐야 어스크린 두의 복수력을 보는 어쩌면 거기 처음부터 난 어색한 거야 언젠가 너도 이 말을 이해하겠지 나의 계절을 언제나 넣었어 내 차가운 심장은 영화 이사와 돌리게 나지 그나 멈췄어 Let's go!
His microphone is so good. That green is like my favorite color of green.
똑같은 액수 속에 딴감한 없네 분명 언제까지는 남기었는데 무서울 정도로 똑같은 나를 속에 딴감한 없네 솔직히 말해 네가 없던 1년 중 덤덤한 척은 말하는 매년도 어떤지 난 이제 갚아 네 향기 따윈 기억도 안 나 잠깐 근데 어디선가 맡아봤던 향수인데 기억이 어렴풋이 피어날 듯해 저기 고개를 돌려보니 환하게 웃으며 다가오는 네 옆에 나는 못 찾지네 왠지 저 솔직한 내 심장과는 다른 이 순간 온도라면 이사봐 Let's go! 지켜보신 의미도 너도가 없는 불빛이 내게 된 현실 내게 기억하기 힘든 숫자와 어둠의 불어 그래도 계속 난 너의 주위를 맴돌게 날 돌고만 있어 미션이 어떻게
What a shot.
When I shoot it,
I used to use that as a vocal stim so much. That's such an interesting song. The interesting thing for me, I feel like, and I know that the songs might not be so similar, but in a lot of sense, this kind of gives me feelings of like Walian 52. I think it's 52, but you know that song. Now I actually have to look it up because my brain will not leave me alone until I do. Because like the whole topic behind it is the fact that there's, you know, something that was kind of considered, you know, kind of the outcast of. One was a whale, the other one is the planet that got demoted to dwarf planet. And it's an interesting theme because this is one of those scenes where I don't think many people would actually think about the whole, what do I say? You know, writing about a planet like Pluto or, you know, like a whale and try and, you know, use it as like something to relate to. But the thing that I find so interesting is that I feel like that they do a decent job at kind of making that feel right there. And the interesting thing is to me too, is I feel like the fact that this song is a little bit smooth, you know, it kind of has those smooth vibes to it. Got that jazzy feel to it. This might be because it's live. I don't know. I actually don't think I've ever listened to the studio version. But that jazzy quality to it kind of is an indicator of kind of that same kind of feel too. Because I would say jazz is one of the lesser popular genres out there. So using that to help you relate to the idea of Pluto and the vibes that they use, the lyrics that's also used as well, really kind of cements this as a fairly unique song in many ways. Plus, I just feel like that the consistency of the sound that goes throughout, you know, it's a fairly straightforward song in a lot of ways. I think it actually really kind of helps out the idea of what we got going on. It is a consistent, smooth, straightforward piece that, you know, kind of lets you know that even when your status has changed or the idea behind you has changed or that people see you differently, that, you know, you're still worth it. And that's kind of cool. So, yeah. Next, we are moving on to a solo piece. We are moving on to Yoongi, and we are doing Never Mind. Yes, this is actually a first. I've never heard this song before, and actually kind of starting to look like that a lot of the more underground songs might be starting to shift slightly towards the solo stuff. My list has been kind of running a little dry, I'm not going to lie, but I'll keep digging. So today, Never Mind by Yoongi, live.
어느새 나는 가족의 자랑이 돼 어느 정도 성공을 했어 사촌이란 말하는 그중 생각이 나는 문득 그 당시 나는 어렵고 무서울 게 없었지 몇 번을 다른 그건 아무것도 아니야 달라진 거라곤 그때에 비해 조금 커진 기와 또 나의 때에 비해 조금 성숙해진 시간 남산 동아지야 작업실 에서부터 아구절까지 갈아놓는 빅톤의 조조 주인 모두만 했지 오버하지마 나가 잠시고 감기면 집안 걷어내는 야 그때부터 신경 안 썼지 누가 뭐라던지 그저 내 걸린 대로 내 포신대로 살아가던 네가 보기에 지금 난 어떨 것 같냐 내가 보기엔 어떨 것 같아 내가 망하게 기도했던 몇몇 넘게 모르게 집안 걷어낸 것 같냐 새끼야 I don't give a shit, I don't give a fuck. 하루 수백 번이 버릇처럼 말했던 내게서 신경을 실패 난 잡죠. 난 뻐먹고긴 속였는데 우리는 나처럼 어느 걱정 보스름해. 그렇지 않은 거는 엄폐식이니 말은 이거는 이기고 날 갈수 없는 세상 떨못다 이거 never mind. 쉽진 않지만 가슴에 세게 부딪힐 것 같으면 던지게 벌벌마. Never mind, never mind. 그것도 가시기만 길이라도 뛰어가. Never mind, never mind. 세상에 네가
We got the other members.
부딪힐 것 같으면 던지게 벌벌마. Never mind, never mind. 포기하기에는 우린 아직 젊다. Alright, never mind. 부딪힐 것 같으면 던지게 벌벌마. 부딪힐 것 같으면 던지게 벌벌마. Never mind.
Wow. Kind of a short song. I think one of the most interesting things is about Yoongi in specific. There is a soft, gentle side to him for sure. But you know what? Whenever I listen to his music, there's always a surface that's... It feels like there's always some sort of tension. And I think it's just kind of because of who he is. I don't think necessarily like he's an angry or depressed person. It's just one of these people that just understands just kind of more or less what you're going through, what he's going through, and what people say about him and what he feels. And the interesting thing is, too, is I think one thing that kind of caught my attention this time is talking about how I believe the line was, "Now I'm the pride of the family." And I thought to myself, I have become the pride of them. Oh, wow. I'm very lucky. Without me noticing, I've become the pride of my family. And it's kind of interesting how that kind of works. Because for me, like, obviously I'm not anywhere near successful. But the thing that I find so interesting is how a lot of the tunes behind me doing this channel even has kind of shifted. Because there was a time where it's like, oh, this is just a cute little side hobby or whatever. And obviously like I said, I'm not some sort of giant creator. But when you start seeing people just kind of constantly have momentum and moving forward and just like having just, seeing that kind of success, based on the hard work, it forces other people's perception to have to change. And I have seen that a little bit, I mean, obviously this is, like I said, not some sort of like job replacement. I'm not some sort of famous YouTuber, but the truth of the matter is like anything that you do in life, when you show improvements and show that like it means something to other people, it kind of changes how other people see you. And it's kind of interesting when you notice that happening. So it's a very interesting thing. I really like how he puts it, because I feel like that a lot of times when we do have that kind of success, and this can be in anything really, it really does kind of end up shifting the positions to being like, oh, you can't make it, to being like, hey, you know what? Maybe you're onto something here. And I think that's kind of more or less what it feels like he's trying to kind of like say here. And I love the intensity that he gives in this song. And I love that feeling that he provides of just kind of like that chip on the shoulder kind of feel. He feels like he's kind of going there to kind of have something to prove in a sense, but knowing that at the same time that it has already started to change, people's perceptions have already started to change. You do have, I would say, a second stage of having a chip on your shoulder that when you do, it's like, yeah, well, I told you. And this is kind of where it feels like he's at in that. I remember specifically feeling like that when I was doing ballroom. I remember my teacher at the time, even though I was the youngest and newest to the genre, I had actually remember hearing him come up to me and be like, I didn't think you'd be able to pull it off. And I remember he said something like, the last performance we had, you were the biggest goof up on stage. And he's like, but now I have to say that you're one of the most improved. And I had that same feeling like, finally you get it. And it's a beautiful kind of difficulty to deal with. So I love how he puts it here. Very, very cool. I like this song a lot. And to end everything off on, we're doing Persona, the comeback trailer. So these comeback trailers are usually pretty much straight gold. I love their filming process. I love their idea behind it. So anyway, let's check it out. Big Hit Entertainment. Whoa.
Yo. 나는 누구인가 평생 물어본 질문 아마 평생 정답은 찾지 못할 그 질문 나는 놈을 고정 말 몇 개로 답할 수 있었다면 신께서 그 수많은 아름다움을 담아 주신 나랬겠지 how you feel 지금 기분이 어때 사실 난 너무 좋아 근데 조금 불편해 나는 내가 개지 돼지인지 뭔지도 아직 잘 모르겠는데 남들이 와서 진주 먹거리를 꺼내 예전보단 더 죽었어 소환했던 슈퍼히로 이제 진짜 된 것 같아 근데 갈수록 뭐 말들이 많어 누군 달리라고 누군 멈춰서라 해 얘는 숲을 보라고 걔는 들고 들보라 해내 그림자라는 망설이 이라 쓰고 불렀네 개그가 되고 나서 망설인 적이 없었네 무대 아래던 나는 조명 아래던 자꾸 나타나 하지라기처럼 뜨겁게 자꾸 날 노려보네 야 이 짓을 왜 시작한 건지 벌써 잊었냐 넌 그냥 들어주는 네가 있단 게 막 좋았던 거야 가끔은 그냥 싹 다 헛소리 같아 샤면 나오는 거 알지 시기 같아 나 따위가 무슨 뮤직 나 따위가 무슨 truth 나 따위가 무슨 소명 나 따위가 무슨 뮤즈 내가 아는 나의 흠어점 그게 사실 내 전부 세상은 사실 아무 관심 없어 나의 서춤 지실리지도 않은 후회들과 매일 밤 싱그럽게 굴고 돌릴 길 없는 시간들이 습관처럼 비틀어도 그때마다 날 또 이렇게 세운 것 최초의 질문 내 이름 성샤 그 가장 앞에 wild but so I'm asking once again yeah who the hell am I tell me all your names baby do you wanna die or do you wanna go you do you wanna fly what's it show what's it drink do you think you lie oh shit I don't know man one thing yeah my name is 내가 기억하고 사람들이 아는 날 토로하기 위해 내가 스스로 만들어낸 나의 나를 속여왔을지도 뻥쳐왔을지도 부끄럽지 않아 이게 내 영혼의 지도 You're myself 넌 절대로 너의 혼돈을 내지마 따뜻히도 차갑게도 될 필요 없으니까 가끔은 위선적이어도 위약적이어도 이 내가 걸어두고 싶은 내 반짝이 내가
Uncanny Valley
사람들이 원하는 나 네가 사랑하는 나 또 내가 빚어내는 나 웃고 있는 나 가끔은 울고 있는 나 지금도 매순 가사라 숨쉬는 persona Who the hell am I? I just wanna go I just wanna fly I just wanna give you all the voices till I die I just wanna give you all the shoulders when you cry Persona Who the hell am I? I just wanna go I just wanna fly I just wanna give you all the voices till I die I just wanna give you all the shoulders.
You know, this is always kind of the tricky thing because whenever it's one of these trailers, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be getting. If it's going to be more of a song, more of like a movie clip, more like an actual trailer, or what. And I think the interesting thing is too is it seems like a lot of times these trailers are kind of solo focused. So obviously, I always say this, but like I always find it a little bit more tricky to talk about like the rap side of things because I'm not really much of a rapper, not always been a big fan of rap, but there's a couple things that I do know that I do like, and that is I love the flow from this. It's just got a consistent flow that I personally feel like it really just fits well. I always feel like that one thing that's always interesting with Namjoon as well is that you always get kind of two versions of Namjoon. You get the one who is like more, I would say, the old artsy version of him. You know, like I kind of feel like that a lot of, you know, his last album was very highbrow, kind of artsy, experimental, kind of weird vibes. But like, then you also get this other side of Namjoon where it's more like just this more visceral feel behind it, where he's just like, I'm going to kind of just say what I want. And if you're offended by it, I don't care. You know, it kind of feels like he kind of gets that from Suga. You know, he gets that from Yoongi. And I'm actually really kind of impressed when he brings this out because being the leader of BTS, I think kind of comes with some unrequited, I would say, pressures that just are constantly there. And I think that that's kind of one of the reasons why the music that he does, I find it, even if it's not my favorite, to be one of the more interesting things to listen to, because it kind of lets me know more or less where I feel like he's at as a person. Because if it's more happy, or if he's more angry, or if he's more sad or experimental, I think a lot of times it's just what he feels like he's not allowed to do, and he wants to make kind of the opposite of what he's allowed to do. And that's kind of what this feels like here. This, in a lot of ways, felt like a more BTS friendly version of like Joker, or I think that's the name of the song, right? Oh, it's Joke. But I think the interesting thing is though, it's just like he he's the one that I feel like that he would be scariest when angry. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of times he's the one who's like always the mouthpiece. He's the one who's kind of portrayed as being the most like, I guess, he is the leader. So he kind of is portrayed as that mouthpiece who kind of always has to be responding with a dignified answer and stuff like that. So when you kind of get him mad and you start pushing things, it's a little bit more like, it feels like, okay, back off. He's scary when he's angry. And I think even more so than a lot of the other members, because I feel like that he is that person and he is in that role. And it just really, really shows a lot in the music that he makes. I think that's what's kind of interesting. You can always tell where he's at and who you're getting based on his music. I feel like that he's really gives away a lot of himself when he does his music. So I don't know. This is a pretty cool song, though. I really liked this song. Like I said, I like the flow here. I also have to say, I really liked this shift right here, too. I love the whole kind of like stripped down, breakdown kind of feel.
I don't know, man. But I know one thing. Yeah, my name is 내가 기억하고 사람들이 아는 날 토로하기 위해 내가 스스로 만들어낸 나의 날 속여왔을지도 뻥쳐왔을지도 부끄럽지 않아 이게 내 영혼의 지도 You're myself 넌 절대로 너의 혼돈을 잃지 마 따뜻히도
Very interesting. What an interesting set of songs. I always kind of never know what I'm getting, especially from him. But very cool, very cool. Let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Obviously, we will discuss this as long as you'd like, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.